Hey guys, TC here from the Christian Gaming Channel, bringing you a brand new episode of Mario Kart Christmas Grand Prix. For those of you who are new to this channel, we have a Christmas Grand Prix every year. We, as in mostly me, because most of these games aren't online. Hopefully, I'll be able to do that in the future, but for right now, it's just me. This year's special though. The last 2 years, I only did it in Mario Kart 8. Specifically the deluxe version because, well, it has the most winter tracks out of all the games. This year though, we're doing the entire series actually. It's kind of a really grand way of doing a Grand Prix, if you will. And I'm gonna be honest, I really dislike some of these earlier Mario Karts. Super Mario Kart's cheap, but as long as you're good enough, you can make your way around it just fine. The AI is not too terrible, but you'll see later on how ruthless the AI can get. But yeah, as far as Super Mario Kart goes, there are 2 winter tracks, Vanilla Lake 1 and 2. Vanilla Lake 1 was the only one I had access to, and quite frankly, I didn't feel like playing Vanilla Lake 2 because it's just more of the same. It's not very interesting. And all of these tracks are being run at 100cc because that is the normal difficulty, quote-unquote, for the CCs. And quite frankly, I couldn't get 150cc in Super Mario Kart, so I just figured I might as well make it even across the board. And this is the game I was talking about. I absolutely despise Mario Kart 64. In my opinion, it's probably the worst Mario Kart in existence. And a lot of Nintendo 64 fans are going to hate that opinion, but it is what it is. I don't like this game at all. I would much rather play Super Mario Kart compared to this game. And it really just boils down to the AI. They get unnecessary speed boosts, and you can see I'm gold mushrooming, and Yoshi is keeping up right with me. This is just ridiculous. The AI cheats way too much in this game. Super Circuit's more fun to play, even Super Mario Kart's more fun to play. But this game is just unusually ruthless. And pardon any construction noises you hear. Self-remodeling. Kitchen's being worked on. And that blue shell just completely avoided Toad for no good reason. It really should have hit Toad. But I digress. But frankly, this game is just... Ugh. I can't even think of too many good things to say about it. I mean, it uses pipe frame, but so does Super Circuit. So I can't really say that's a positive about the game. Doesn't even have any outstandingly great tracks like Super Circuit does or any of the later entries. It just feels like an incremental upgrade, if anything. That's enough complaining about Mario Kart 64. Well, at least we got 3rd place, and quite frankly, I did not want to go back and touch this game. Anyways, this is Christmas time. Should be happy and not complaining, I guess. I will be content with 3rd place and Mario just glitching through the world. Okay then, Mario. You good there, bud? I really wanted that nice screen transition, but I kinda had to fade it out to black anyways. Oh, Pixel had to. I didn't press. Anyways, Super Circuit. With the track whose name escapes me, it probably flashed up on screen when the track got selected, so you'll know. Anyways, the main gimmick of this game with the coins is you can gather as many as are available in the course, and they will keep increasing your speed. So I've got plus 29 coin speed, which basically let me run away with the victory, which I am perfectly okay with. After dealing with the last game, yeah, this was a very good relief. And I'll make sure Pixel puts up a seizure warning for this because, yeah, I'm pretty sure this shaking could probably bother somebody who has seizure issues, so I don't really know where to lead off with that. I really do feel bad for those people that have that problem, though. Must be awful just watching a TV show and not knowing when or how there might be like a seizure issue coming up, especially if it's an older television show where that, you know, really wasn't a concern at the time. Anyways, I missed coins still. I really wanted to get all the coins. That was a good drift. Very good drift. I don't often post-commentate, but this is how I had to. Because I was playing so many different Mario Kart games and I was absolutely struggling to get Mario Kart 7 up and running. That's a whole nother issue I'm not going to talk about because reasons. Anyways, let's move on to our next game in a few seconds. Now we're in Double Dash. You might not notice it on your screen because of YouTube compression. I was tinkering around with high efficiency video coding. I think that's what HEV stands for. HEVC. Anyways, I was trying to just tinker around with it because got a new motherboard on the CPU, still using the same old graphics card because that was perfectly fine. And I think HEVC is the blame for the way the video looks. I'm not entirely sure. I used to use H.264, but I switched over to HEVC because it's supposed to be just as good looking, but taking up less space. And I don't know how I feel about that quite yet. For any of you who use OBS, maybe you know better settings for using HEVC on an NVIDIA card? Because I used, I think, 40,000 kilobits per second, which is what I usually use on H.264, and it works just fine. But it's looking a little grainy to me, I guess. I don't know, I just don't feel like it's quite up to standard, but I don't have the time to go back and re-record it, unfortunately. And I'm going to get blasted by a red shell. I really like the way Double Dash does the items. It's really, really impactful in a way, I suppose. Like, everything feels like it has force to it. Even the bananas feel like they have a lot of force behind them. The really cool thing in this game, for those of you who haven't played it, if you get hit by a fake item box and you get hit by lightning during the hit frame for the item box, you actually completely dodge getting hit by lightning, which is really, really awesome. It's a very unusual mechanic to have, but I guess if you know somebody has lightning and you see a fake item box, you could try and time out a dodge, as hard as that would be to do.
Oh yeah, who's number one now? Luigi.
Alright, Mario Kart DS. Probably the most popular Mario Kart next to the Wii, outside of, 8 Deluxe, obviously. Before... I want to say before Nintendo got full-on mainstream. I mean, Nintendo was mainstream in the Wii era, but it kind of fell off in the Wii U era. But right now, Switch time, it's everywhere. But yeah, DS is a really solid title. It was the last game to use the waggle drift system. I don't know the name for it. And I'm just going to call it waggle drift. Also, that item box you saw that I grabbed, you can get one of two things. Mushrooms or a star. That's literally it. That's the only two things that does. Which is really great. If you know a blue shell's coming, you might be able to get a star to avoid the blue shell. It's also the only game to actually utilize custom graphics for the character icons. Like Mario's you see up there, you could change it out to your own kind. If I'm not mistaken, you can barely see it on the side of the vehicle when I do drifts. I understand why Nintendo stopped doing the custom emblem thing, because people in inappropriate pictures. Who would have guessed people would do that? Anyways, I kind of miss it though. Not the inappropriate part, but just being able to have your own custom logo. So I'd love to put the channel logo on a cart online. That would just be really cool to do. Or even, you can have a friend, you can make your own team logo. I mean, the possibilities would be endless. Unfortunately, it's just not the way that works. Although, if Nintendo really wanted to, they could just take your Switch profile icon and just let you have that as your cart logo, I suppose. It's not a fun way of doing it, but it works. I guess that could be a possibility. That waggle is extremely hard to pull off sometimes. Especially when you're doing all of these races consecutively. You get to a point where you're just kind of like, I just want to be done with this. Not because I don't want to do, it's just bots in some of the Mario Kart games are very cheaty. And you also have different drifting mechanics, so you're trying to juggle between them. And DS is especially very tiring for your thumbs. Other than that, though, not much else to say about DS except nice mountain track. I got smacked by a snowball, and I feel like this is like a precursor to DK Summit and Mario Kart Wii, which will be our next game, actually. So I guess I get to see you guys there. Here we are, DK Summit in Mario Kart Wii. It's full screen, finally. It's 16:9. First Mario Kart game to actually do 16:9, which is kind of surprising it took this long. Especially considering there was actually 16:9 games on the PlayStation 1. They're not very common, but they do exist. I think Colin McRae Rally is one of them. No, I do not play those kinds of games necessarily. I just happen to have the disc because I guess it was given to me? Quite frankly, I don't know why I have it. It just exists in my collection, I suppose. But regardless, it does widescreen, which is really impressive for PlayStation 1 standards. And for all of you Mario Kart Wii fanatics, I am not doing the DK Summit shortcut because I don't practice that enough. I don't practice playing Mario Kart Wii enough, to be quite frankly honest, to pull that kind of stunt off. Most of my time is spent playing 8. Not 8 Deluxe, just 8. Credit where credit due, 8 is technically harder than Deluxe, but it's nowhere near as hard as Wii. Wii's a strange game in a way. It's easy to pick up and play, and the AI is fairly balanced, but the items, they're kind of ruthless to a point. Because, at least from my experience, I have gotten so many hits in Mario Kart Wii compared to every other Mario Kart game I play. It's the one Mario Kart game that actually makes me want to stop playing, basically. Which is, quite frankly, saying a lot. This game is just that brutal to me. I don't know why. This game just doesn't seem to like me for some reason. I'm playing fine here. Maybe it's just being nice to me because it's Christmas. Who knows? All I know is good Lord Summit definitely helped me get all the victories I got on this. There's one thing I've always questioned. Why are all of the hazard characters, and just characters in general that aren't on carts, bigger than the kart racers themselves? Because like, do the Mario Kart games all take place when characters are in their small form and not their super form? It's just a question. It's always been in the back of my mind. I never thought about it till now. Well, I've always thought about it, I just never mentioned it. That should be a better way to say it. Ooh, that's not good. Fake item box when I don't need it. And yeah, that was brutal. I got lightninged and powed and fell into a hole. 3 hits in under 10 seconds. That was very impressive. And the yellow shot guy does not take me out this time. And we get a final hit on Dry Bones, just to add insult to injury, I suppose. Anyways, meet you guys in Mario Kart 7. Rosalina's Ice World. I don't know if I like the 7 version or the 8 version more. Yeah, this game was a little menace to get recording correctly. I won't go into why, because Nintendo. But suffice it to say, it just took a while to get this up and going for recording purposes. I like it, it's nice. The alternate routes are good. Although I wish there was a more clear/easier way of getting back onto the ice part of the track. Because the gimmick with this is that ice slowly flows outwards more and more. To the point where you get, you need a mushroom in order to get to that, but sometimes even the mushroom doesn't seem to work. I don't know why. Also, return to Pipe Frame. I almost forgot that. Pipe Frame is the best cart, in my opinion. What statistically is the best cart in this game, I think, is Metal Mario with the B-Dasher and the Hot Monster wheels. Don't ask me about the glider, I don't remember. Come on, use the mushroom. I didn't use the mushroom. Would this really count as a Christmas track? Also, nice blue shell dodge. I'm so glad I got that on recording. I'm not terrible at the game. I can actually pull off some cool stuff once in a while. Where was I? Oh yeah. Would this track count as Christmassy? I mean, it's wintry, but is it Christmassy? That's the real question. I feel like Double Dash definitely was kind of Christmassy. And it's really the only kind of Christmassy track I can think of out of the wintry tracks, obviously outside of Merry Mountain, because that's kind of a gimme there. Nice penguins. But the penguins are kind of prominent in the side series because they're very nice looking characters in general. I like the way the Mario series has the penguins look. Although I don't know why they're kind of a dark blue. Most penguins are black if I'm not mistaken. You know, plus their white underside. Anywho. Let's see. We got 8 Deluxe coming up next. We skipped 8 because 8 Deluxe has everything 8 has, and I didn't really want to go between recording the Wii U and recording the Switch. Just for like a couple tracks. Graphically there's no difference, and this has all the other tracks I was going to record anyways, so convenience. Unfortunately, that also kicks difficulty to the curb because 8 Deluxe is significantly easier than Mario Kart 8. Both in CPUs and just in some technical aspects. Pretty sure 8 Deluxe has better iframes compared to Mario Kart 8. You can get comboed a whole lot more compared to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I'm really trying to figure out what I'm trying to say. Ow, poor Luigi, he just got destroyed. Mario Kart, that's the right word. I'll be honest, I'm struggling to find things to commentate about. Because this is a very long video. You guys already know how long it is. because you can just see in the YouTube bar or the Rumble bar. But I just have this kind of vague timeline to look at. It kind of tells me, but not fully telling me. Okay, so my car choice, I think I did a fairly good choice. The standard bike plus the off-road tires, I think it looks nice. Typically that's the way I play Mario Kart 8, and 7 for that matter. I choose what looks nice rather than based on stats because I want to have fun. Not just choose the best card in the game because that's boring in my opinion. Why would you want to just choose the best? Wouldn't you want to find something interesting and unique that kind of fits your playstyle? Instead of just shoehorning the most optimal playstyle onto yourself? I really like Vancouver Velocity, it's a nice looking track. Especially considering most of the tour tracks are not all that great. The tour tracks. Layout-wise, they can be kind of fun, if a little basic. It's mostly the graphics that let them down. They don't really compare to the base game in my opinion, and that's a very common opinion for a lot of people. I don't know why Nintendo just didn't reuse graphics from the base game. I can understand you have to create new graphics for some of the stuff, but a lot of this just looks like it's, you know, flat shaded textures. Polygons, whatever you want to call them. It just feels kind of low effort compared to the rest of the series. I mean, I know Mario Kart is not a graphical showcase game by any means, but still, you think they could have put a bit more effort into it. You know what, I didn't want to do retros in this series, and I just realized GBA Snowland is just a retro. Oops. Well, I recorded it anyways, and it would be kind of awkward to see one race cut out because it announces the races in the bottom. Yeah, it's just gonna stay here. Objectively, this isn't even the same track to begin with anyways. I feel like I missed a track. No. There was that one winter track in Mario Kart Wii that was a retro for the Nintendo 64. I think that's the one I missed out. Not that I'm going to complain because it's Mario Kart 64 and I would have to play that in the original game to a point. Because there's no real difference between the two. Layout-wise, unlike this version, which is drastically different compared to the GBA original. And no big deal, or loss for that matter. Let's see, Green Shells took out Rosalina, the baby Rosalina anyways. Not a great character. You know who I'd like to see in Mario Kart actually? I'd like to see Dixie Kong back in, if we're just replace Baby Rosaline with Dixie Kong. That way we can have, you know, the two heavies, Funky Kong and Donkey Kong, and then we could have the two medium weight characters, Dixie Kong and, you know, Diddy Kong. That would be better in my opinion. We need more Donkey Kong representation. The real shame Retro hasn't been able to make a new Donkey Kong Country game since Tropical Freeze. Personally, I would happily take a Donkey Kong game over a Metroid game any day of the week. Not that there's anything wrong with the Metroid games, I don't play them, but I don't want people to lose out on it. You know, the fan base to lose out on a game they enjoy. I'm happy for them, but I'd like to see more Donkey Kong games. And the 2D platformer variety anyways. Okay, we finally got another Christmassy track. There's like, in total, like 3 very Christmassy kind of stages. Kind of sad. But it's not exactly the most common winter theme either, so I guess I could let it slide. I mean, Luigi's sliding right now. I like the Animal Crossing stage in general, it just looks nice. I'd never played Animal Crossing to a thorough extent. I think I tinkered around with it just once to see what it was. Way back when, and I never bothered with it past just looking at the beginning intro on the DS game, I think. I never really played it, though. Just booting the game and seeing the intro cutscene and looking around town, I don't feel like that really qualifies as playing the game necessarily. And that was a good shot from Baby Rosalina. I don't think she liked my DixieCon comment. The real question is, when am I going to use the mushroom to boost? Or am I just going to hold it in hopes of using it against a blue shell? Nope, I'm going to use it right now. The triple greens, the triple reds, and the triple bananas are deadly if you feel like getting into, you know, doing more contact damage with your opponents. And I never noticed this, actually, until I went to select the stage, because you have to hold down a certain button to do it. Each button on the back, L, R, ZL, and ZR, correspond to the exact tile that they would represent on the profile icon of the track. So the winter stage is in the bottom right. The bottom right button is ZR, so it makes so much sense, and I never really thought about it till now. I've always tried to memorize what the button was, but now that I've looked at that, it makes complete sense. You learn something new every day. One thing I do know about Animal Crossing is Tom Nook is a cheapskate who will tax you a lot of money. Why anybody would go to him for that, I don't know, but we're gonna have an amazing shell shot right there. Just took out Birdo's chance of getting first place. It was amazing. Lord gets all the credit for that shot because I certainly could not have done that right. And I did notice while I was playing very aggressive. Which is not like me normally. I'm pretty chill. I guess maybe it was because I was dealing with CPUs and not people I was more aggressive, because the last thing I ever want to make somebody do is rage quit a game. I'd rather, just people have fun, just not take things too seriously. You don't have to worry about CPUs getting upset because they're CPUs. Ice Outpost is a fun track as well. It's a little dull, but it's based in the Arctic, so there's not a whole lot you can do with that, honestly. Although, weirdly enough, there's a very strange lack of penguins. You think this would be the one time they'd at least have penguins on the sidelines or something. But no, I don't see any penguins whatsoever, which is really weird. I'm gonna get blooped, which is just gonna further reduce the traction. And I learned this from my Mario Kart video, actually. If you get blooper inked, regardless of your traction stat, it reduces all traction to the same stat, which is really interesting. You think it would take your traction stat into account to make a tire choice more, integral, I guess? But integral? I don't know what the right word for it is, but more important, I suppose. Outside of mini turbos. But no, it just defaults them all to the same value. I wonder if snaking is even a thing in competitive Mario Kart still or not. And that red shell just went. And it is going to attack last place, I guess? I think it locks on to last place if it bypasses first, or first throws a red shell. I think, because it wasn't going straight into a wall, so it clearly was on a mission. And I got bananaed, which means I'm probably not going to get first, but I think I'll still outdo Link because I got a draft. Oh, wait, I got first place. Thank you, Lord. This is probably my favorite winter track out of the base game. Wario is very fun. Got a big cinematic intro, cinematic ending. It's all just really solid. And I'm just thinking about how painful that landing would be. I don't care how good that suspension is. That would have to jar your insides. And the dog's barking at me through the window. He's a good boy. He just likes the bark. Okay, next commentary point. I am legitimately trying because this is a long video and I am not used to commentating on something that's probably 40 minutes long. I don't even have anything to say about Mount Wario, honestly. It's a snowboard-esque track and this would probably be really amazing to see in a snowboarding game. Why hasn't Nintendo made a snowboarding game? There's the next topic. Nintendo needs to make a snowboarding game for Mario. It would be fun. Just something along the lines of an open world mountain. Because back in the days, the early PlayStation 2 days, there was a certain snowboarding game that had an open world mountain where you could go from the top of the mountain to all the way down to the very bottom of the mountain. And it was fun. Nintendo needs to do something like that, but for Mario. Maybe with power-ups too. You have the cake feather to extend your airtime, so you could do more tricks. Although knowing Nintendo, they don't like to acknowledge the cake feather's existence, so they probably just use the Tanuki suit. But that'd be really cool. Get the Kongs in on it too. You could even use DK Summit. There's already snowboarding there for like a racetrack for snowboarding. It'd be perfect. Anyways though, we're on Merry Mountain, our final track of the Grand Prix. Very fittingly a Christmas themed track. But we all know that Jesus Christ's birth is the real reason we have Christmas. The most important gift humanity's ever received, actually. Salvation. A very, very important thing. I might do something at the end of this video. See if I can't put it together. Anyways, Christmas train up there. That somehow is just magically getting rails put underneath it as it flies around. Same way the train in Mario Kart 64's Rainbow Road on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe works as well. I don't know what kind of fuel those toads are using, but they need to put it in cars so that way the traffic clears up. It's the one thing I don't like about the Christmas and Thanksgiving holidays. is the traffic. It is just so awful, especially when you live in an interstate town. You have all that interstate traffic coming up when there's a car accident, and then they flood through town and all the back roads. It's not fun. I mean, I feel bad for the people that get into the car accidents, but I just really hate all this traffic. It's just safer to stay inside than to go back out on the roads. Are we gonna dodge? No, we are not gonna dodge. There's a hole back there. I never knew that, actually. Until this recording, surprisingly. I'm surprised there's a hole there, because it seems very pointless to have. Why would you have a hole there? Why is there so much lightning? Why isn't Diddy Kong second place? Because he's the best character ever outside of Luigi. Unfortunately, I can't answer all these questions, but maybe you guys in the comments can. I imagine you guys know a lot more about Mario Kart than I do. Not that I want to downplay myself, but I prefer to stay humble than get, you know, all braggy. I'm gonna get a first to end it off. Literally, our only loss was Mario Kart 64. That is sad. Anyways, I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. And I hope you enjoyed this Grand Prix, and thank you for putting up with my rambling. Merry Christmas. Remember, Jesus loves you and Christ is King. Bye. And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them. And they were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Saviour, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you, ye shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host praising God, and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men. And it came to pass, as the angels were gone away from them into heaven, the shepherds said one to another, Let us now go even unto Bethlehem, and see this thing which is come to pass, which the Lord hath made known unto us. And they came with haste, and found Mary and Joseph, and the babe lying in a manger. And when they had seen it, they made known abroad the saying which was told them concerning this child. For unto us a child is born, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counsellor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Remember, everybody, Jesus is the reason for the season. Have a Merry Christmas, everyone.